Hello, everyone. Welcome to Kroll's weekly threat intelligence briefing for the 17th of February 2026. My name is Ryan Hicks. Speaking with you today is Ethan Uffery from the threat intelligence team. This week we're covering the following topics. First, I'll be looking at Microsoft Patch Tuesday, February, then a social engineering campaign with both sort of ClickFix and deepfake elements to it. And finally, for me, we'll be looking at critical vulnerability in BeyondTrust. And finally, Ethan will be rounding off with Reynolds ransomware. So first up, looking at Patch Tuesday. So Microsoft fixed 61 vulnerabilities in February's patch cycle with 25 privilege escalation, 12 remote code execution, and 15 vulnerabilities rated critical by Microsoft. And there are also 6 0 days identified, all with CVSS scores of high or lower. So that is below a 9 score. And the only 0 day that appears to have kind of additional details is on the left-hand side there, which is CVE 2026 21533. Has a CVSS of 7.8. And this is a local privilege escalation vulnerability, so post-compromise. And it affects Windows remote desktop services. This is noted to have been first observed by CrowdStrike, who reported it to Microsoft, and they state that the vulnerability was exploited between December 25 and February 2026, and they observed that across multiple organizations. So no kind of further details on the other ones. We'll keep an eye out for any kind of further details, including any attribution to those 0 days, and we'll report where necessary. Okay, moving on. So, looking at reporting by Mandiant on an intrusion targeting a financial tech entity, who they attribute to UNC 1069, a suspected North Korean Nexus actor. The report details quite a tailored intrusion, deployed various unique malware families, including some new tooling to capture victim data. The social engineering aspect to this is probably kind of the most interesting part of this, kind of lots of different elements to it. So to start the compromise, the victim was contacted by via Telegram through a compromised executive account from a cryptocurrency company separate from the victim company. After building rapport, the actor sent a Calendly link to schedule a meeting with the victim, and the link then directed the user to a spoofed Zoom meeting that was sort of hosted on threat actor infrastructure rather than a legitimate sort of Zoom link. And during the meeting, the victim reportedly was presented with a video that appeared to be kind of a deepfake AI video. And that video kind of facilitated a kind of a ruse that gave the impression of audio issues for the victim. And that was kind of employed by the actor to then kind of conduct a ClickFix style attack, which was the user being directed to run troubleshooting commands to fix those sort of falsified issues, and that kind of initiated the infections chain. So sort of what we've seen with ClickFix style attacks is obviously slightly different in terms of kind of the chain, lots of kind of social engineering before that, but again leading to that same outcome of user being tricked into running these kind of commands to hopefully fix an issue that isn't really there. Following that, the variety of tooling was deployed with the intent to harvest credentials, browser data, and session tokens, likely for enabling financial thefts, more likely kind of cryptocurrency theft. Just some recommendations really from this. So monitoring for suspicious activity. So this was sort of specific on Mac OS. So a few recommendations here that was seen kind of post-compromise. Looking for the manipulation of the transparency, consent, and control database. Looking for persistence mechanisms installed as launch daemons, specifically mimicking Apple services. Any browser extension installations masquerading as Google Docs, and that was kind of seen in this one. And also kind of general education on users on the importance of verifying calendar invites, particularly from third-party services. So in this case, it was from Calendly. Yeah, verifying the kind of links where those are going to, make sure they're kind of from verified sources. And lastly, for me, so BeyondTrust, has disclosed a critical vulnerability in its remote supports and privileged remote access platforms. So this CVE is tracked as CVE 2026 1731. It has a critical CVSS score of 9.9. It allows a remote attacker who is not authenticated to run operating system commands using the site user's permissions. And a successful attack may result in unauthorized access, data exfiltration, or disruption of services as a whole. Kind of effective versions just shown on the top there. For remote support application, it's 25.3.1 and earlier, and for the privileged remote access application, it's 24.3.4 and earlier. And just noting that software as a service or SaaS customers were already patched automatically, but self-hosted deployments remain at risk until the update is applied manually by administrators. In terms of current exploitation, on February 13th, Arctic Wolf reported it had been exploited in the wilds by an unnamed actor, and they noted that following exploitation, the actor deployed the Simple Help remote management tool for persistence. PSExec was also used to install tooling across devices, and ADSI Searcher tool was used for Active Directory discovery. And also a proof of concept was also posted online on February 11th to GitHub as well. And just looking at kind of previous campaigns targeting BeyondTrust, the Chinese state-sponsored actor KT401, also known as Silk Typhoon, has previously exploited several BeyondTrust vulnerabilities soon after disclosure. In 2024, they weaponized multiple vulnerabilities in BeyondTrust to compromise US Treasury systems. Although for the current exploitation, no attribution is available at this time, but certainly has been kind of targeted by these kind of nation state actors in the past anyway. So this kind of recent exploitation and the kind of previous high profile exploitation should really expedite patching on impacted devices. Finally, I'll hand over to Ethan.
Thanks, Ryan. Reynolds is an emergent ransomware family first identified in February 2026 by researchers who observed it evolving the bring your own vulnerability driver technique. Unlike traditional attacks that deploy separate tools to disable security software, Reynolds bundled the vulnerable NSEC-soft NSEC kernel driver, also known as CVE 2025-68947, directly within its payload. This integration allows the malware to drop the driver and immediately terminate processes for major security tools from a single file. By eliminating the gap between defense evasion and encryption, the attacker becomes quieter and significantly harder for defenders to stop. Recent forensic analysis revealed that attackers established a foothold on victim networks using a side loader weeks before encryption, followed by the deployment of the Godot HTTP remote access tool to maintain persistence. While researchers initially linked the activity to the Black Bossa gang, they later confirmed it as the distinct Reynolds family. Experts warn that such bundled capabilities make these attacks more attractive to criminal affiliates by streamlining the infection process and reducing the steps needed for a successful breach. This shift towards self-contained evasion reflects a broader trend of ransomware groups refining their tools to bypass kernel-level protections and professionalize their operations. Thank you, Ryan.
Thanks, Ethan. So that's all we have for this week. If you do have any questions, please contact us at cti@kroll.com. Thank you and see you next week.